I call this meeting of the Rotary Club of Waynesboro to order. Everyone, please rise and join with me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Laura Hamp has our invocation.
Bonds of Rotary between us and our worries behind us, with our goals before us and no task beyond us. We come before you with a passion for service and an imagination to make the world a better place. Thank you for our time together today and guide us as we share our talents and resources to live a life of service above self. In your name we pray. Amen.
And another one of Laura's talents that she's sharing with us at the keyboard, and this is by special request, we're doing Imagine by John Lennon. So let me find it. There we go. So if everyone will tune up their pipes, we'll see what happens. All right. Imagine there's a heaven. It's easy if you try. Where there's peace with justice. No hungry children cry. Imagine all the people living for today. Ha-ha. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A fellowship of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be live as one. All right. Imagine not singing that again. Yeah, God will get you that for that, Lynn Pullen. Wherever you are, I'll find you. All right. Let's see what we got on tap. First of all, welcome to one and all to Retro Rotary. This song today was part of Retro Rotary. And with that said, do we have guests or visiting Rotarians to introduce? Tom.
Hold on, Tom. I have with me today Leslie Tate, who is the new Director of Community Development for the City of Waynesboro, and she's also my niece.
Oh, excellent. Dick's got a guess, I think, doesn't he? Dick, do you have a guess? Okay. Anybody else? Any visiting Rotarians? Okay. Don't forget, Flo's buckets on the table. Contribute your loose change, dollar bills, diner's card. debit card, whatever you got. And do we have a raffle today? Somebody got a deck of cards?
I didn't get a ticket.
Kirk's not a
I'll
trust.
stir 'em up this time.
You're not letting Kirk draw it, are you?
Yeah, I didn't buy a ticket. I'm good. Ticket number is 353013. Lucky 13.
Who's got it? Uh-oh.
That's it.
All right, fan them out. Blow on your fingers. It always helps.
Oh, what is it?
What was it?
6 of diamonds.
Not even close. How about, yeah, how many cards are left? How much? 15. And how much money? 700?
The pot is up to 800, 400.
Gracious. All right, keep coming. How about Happy Dogs? Anybody got one? Yes. Yes. Nancy.
Nancy's first.
Well, this is not really a happy dollar. This is a naggy dollar. Because I want to remind you that you have your 4 raffle event tickets to sell. I have already collected today from folks who have sold them, and I'll be doing this for the next 4 weeks. Just keep in mind that I need your ticket stubs and money by our last meeting before the fundraiser on August the 18th. If you didn't see in your email, I sent you an email with just some guidelines for ticket sales. And for all of you new folks that this is your first time going through, please give me a buzz. If there's anything that I can do for you or explain to you, be happy to help. I'm also happy to pick up ticket stubs and pick up money, and I've done that in the past, so happy to do it. Whatever we need to do to get them in. Thank you.
All right, Nancy, I got 300 happy dollars right here. You want to come pick it up?
Yeah, this is a short drive.
Okay, you've got a happy dollar.
Yes, I have a happy dollar. Wesley James Tibbs was born on July 13th, so I'm a grandma, Nana times 2.
All right. Congratulations.
Do Vonda first.
Oh, Vonda, go ahead.
So mine's a naggy dollar too. I just want to remind y'all to check yourself in and also by your name. We do have name tags on order for a lot of people and some new lanyards. But if you do need a name tag, if you just make that notation to the side, and then Sarah will get that when she gets the roster, and she can make sure she's ordered name tags for everyone that needs them. Thank you.
Thank you, Vonda. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I got
Jeff.
one.
So just happy dollar, it's Fiona's birthday today. She
All
is
right.
flying somewhere today. I literally have no idea, but happy birthday to her. And the Waynesboro Generals play tonight. It's win and advance, lose and go home. So if you're looking for some good quality baseball, I think the gate's been sponsored. It's free baseball. Come root your Waynesboro Generals and these college athletes. This may be the last game that they play, hopefully not in good old Waynesboro. But come out to the ballpark 7 o'clock tonight.
All right, tell me where they're playing again for those that are.
Kate Collins Field.
Okay.
Where the high school play their baseball games.
All right.
So,
Bill,
All right, Kath.
So next week, I'm going down to Virginia Beach to see my son, his wife, and 2 grandchildren, and my daughter and her husband and another grandbaby are coming in. It'll be the first time we've all been together since before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really excited.
Oh, that's great, Kathleen. Something to celebrate. Anybody else?
Bill, online here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then after me, I think Rebecca has one. So I've got 2 happy dollars, and I believe I've still got a balance from the $40 I've tossed in over the last couple of months. So the first dollar I want to apply to Bill and Laura for pulling out the Imagine song. That was great. And hopefully you'll see why I wanted it for today, because of the video that's coming up. Also, I just wanted to say that I'm ending my second week of my 3 weeks of quarantine, and I'm feeling a lot better right now. So things
Good.
are on the upbeat. So thank you. I think Rebecca's
All right.
got some.
Way to go, Lynn. Anybody else? Any other happy dollars? Got a lot of happy people today. Yes, ma'am.
So I am also traveling out of town. I leave tomorrow for New York, doing a Friday to Friday trip. And it's the first time I've ever traveled with just my 2 preteen children, and I'm making the drive alone, so pray for me. But excited to see my family. I, too, have not seen my dad and his wife and his daughter since before COVID, so we're excited.
All right. Well, safe travels. Excellent. Anybody else?
I got one.
Who's got one? Oh, Rebecca. Sorry.
Hi. It's all good. Just a happy birthday to all the July babies: Mike Gable, Carrie Garrison, Laura Hamp, Jim Heisen, Carl Lowry, Ken, and presiding Bill Watkins.
Yeah, my birthday's Sunday. So,
Congratulations.
happy birthday, to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to me.
And I have
Okay.
$1. Today
Yes, sir,
makes,
Joel.
Today makes 31 years since we've been married.
Oh, excellent. Congratulations. It's a milestone that not many reach these days. Anybody else? Frank? Chase him. Chase him down. There he is.
Well, everybody's traveling this weekend, and include me in that. Your favorite Virginia Tech cheerleader, Sonny Carey, is going to vet school at the University of Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
That's a long drive.
Yeah.
Dad pulling the trailer with Mom and Sonny and the dog.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Why Minnesota, Frank? They got a good tech school, vet school at Tech.
Actually, it's better at Minnesota.
Is it? Oh, is that right? All right.
I've got a happy dollar. I've had my daughter and son-in-law and my 3 grandkids with me from February to August 3rd. And they're going back to Indonesia August 3rd. So it's been a blessing, but I hate to see them go.
Yeah, give my best to Peter and your daughter.
Katie.
Thank you. Don't forget, if you haven't seen it already, there's a member satisfaction survey link on the blast that you get from Lynn every Wednesday. I did it this morning. Doesn't take but a few minutes. And the club leadership really needs that to help chart the course for the coming year. Don't forget homework toolboxes that the Salvation Army is sponsoring. There's a bin up here. I don't know if you brought anything, but the donations are certainly, make your check out to Salvation Army, and in the memo just write in homework toolboxes. Committee sign-ups, there's a link on the blast from Lynn that allows you to access sign-ups for committees. If you're not already on a committee, you want to go in and look to see where you might fit in. There's also, and I'd also like to give a happy dollar myself, although I don't have a happy dollar. As we all know, I don't carry happy dollars. So I owe the club a huge amount of money by this time. But in any event, I have one for Francine's mom. Francine's mom, Bernice Rexroad, died just the other day. She was just shy of her 103rd birthday, which she would have celebrated on August the 9th. And I want to give that happy dollar because she and my mother were my den mothers in Cub Scouts many, many moons ago. So she lived a long and terrific life, as well as Arvil, her husband, and they'll be missed, Francine, and I know you'll miss them. Just a quick introduction before we get to our program of our new members. Kate Keller, who unfortunately tested positive, I guess, no, didn't test positive. Somebody in her household tested positive for COVID, so she's quarantined for a little while. Joel Carter's here with us, and Joel, as well as Kate, were approved for membership by the board, notwithstanding, what he did back in his salad days. That was well researched and disregarded. But you have one day now to tell us what you really know about Joel Carter that the board has not observed. So if the board hears nothing from anybody by the end of business tomorrow, Joel, you will have gotten away with it. All right? Okay. So we have a program. Lynn, is there anything you want to say about before we switch this on?
Just I'll say quickly that it's their new Rotary year, and the new theme is Imagine Rotary, and I want to challenge everybody here to imagine our club as we look forward. We're in a transition period, as we know, and we know what our past is. So let's think about how our future will look, given the realities of our new realities in the world today. So, and by the way, if you have any trouble with it, let me know, and I can run it from here. You just have to give me co-host rights.
All right, good enough.
All right.
Let me see if I can get this done.
Hi, welcome to the 2022-23 Rotary year. This looks to be an amazing year for Rotary. First, we're on the brink of seeing 0 wild polio cases this year. Something once thought unthinkable is truly this close. Second, this year, Rotary International welcomes the first woman to serve as president. I'm excited to share her message for Rotarians and the upcoming year. Here is Rotary International President from Windsor, Ontario, Jennifer Jones.
On August 14th, Nick and I made our way to Evanston, Illinois, home of our Rotary International headquarters and our new home for the next 2 years. I must confess, I was incredibly excited to finally sit in my president-elect office, to work from a space that I have respected for years. And it was also nice to work from someplace other than my dining room table. Within the first week, I received a private message from a Rotarian early in the morning. He said, "I'm not sure if you remember me. You've spoken at our club and we met in Hamburg." He went on to say that he had a long-shot favor to ask me. His club had a relationship with a scholar and peace activist in Kabul, Afghanistan, a young woman who was now in danger. Was there anything I could do to help get her onto an evacuation plane? He told me that smartphones were being confiscated and she was using hers with a private network to mask where she was phoning from. We all remember the scenes as thousands of desperate people were trying to flee from the Kabul airport. From the comfort of my new office and sitting behind my big desk, I suddenly felt very small. Who was I, and what could I possibly do? A few years earlier, Pat Merriweather, one of our incoming Rotary International directors, introduced me to a Peace Fellow who held the kind of position that could influence this type of situation. Now, it was my long shot. I reached out, and that certain Rotary magic that we all know so well took over. It's the Rotary Peace Fellow who's the hero of this story. I don't know everything that happened, but in less than 24 hours, the young woman was on an evacuation list. 2 days later, we learned she was safely en route to Europe for further processing. Imagine her thoughts that day as the plane launched into the sky. This, my friends, is the power of Rotary. When the right connections are made, the world aligns and our stories merge. Our differences dissolve, and the only limit to our impact is the barrier of our imagination.
Through Rotary, we can all have a story like Jennifer's. This is why increasing our impact is so important. In order to do this, we need to increase our foundation giving. And that starts with you. Increase our personal foundation giving. Foundation giving is what helps us work in our own communities, allowing us to expand our projects and just do more. This is what we use to do global projects. Many of us in our clubs have worked on global grants and know the difference it makes. We will continue our Hunger Initiative next year. This effort impacts every club in our district. Numerous clubs and our district use foundation funds to help meet this goal. Many clubs apply for district grants to further this hunger effort. It might be to buy products for their meals, fill their blessing boxes, or fill backpacks. We will have a new goal next year of 1.1 million meals. Won't you be the one that helps make this happen?
Only when we live in shared experience like this can we create world peace through understanding. And that world can only manifest when we commit ourselves to equity, human rights, and fairly allocating community resources. Or, perhaps as we all best know it, being fair to all concerned. As we strive to weave diversity, equity, and inclusion into Rotary, removing barriers is the key to inclusion, and inclusion is the key to membership. Well, this may seem like a new call to action. It's not new thinking. I want you to listen to the actual recording of our founder, Paul Harris, in 1933 at our 24th annual convention.
Rotary is thrown open to representatives of all walks of life, to representatives of all countries and all forms of religion. Herein lies the genius and the glory of Rotary. While Rotarians differ in many respects, in two respects, they are in perfect accord.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I want to focus on inclusion. We had many discussions about diversity, equity, and inclusion in our training, and we all have our own definitions of what this should include. And in international training, this really did take on many different meanings. One speaker who spoke about this really related to me. He had been born deaf, and society had treated him differently his whole life. We need to recognize and accept differences, whether it's color, religion, educational background, or disabilities. We need to encourage expanding our circles and including others beyond our members in our service projects. This expands our operations. Others will be more aware of what we're doing. It becomes easier to tell our stories because others will have been involved in this story. Clubs need to assess their club environment. Is your club comfortable and welcoming? It could be something as simple as, can members get into the meeting, or are the stairs too steep? Is there enough parking for everyone, or is it too far to walk? Can you hear the speaker, or does the sound system really not work? Can everyone see the slides for the program? And the most important question, is the food good? We've all heard about the tables of folks that always sit together. But is it deeper than that? Are there barriers? Look around. Ask your members. Don't wait till you're doing an exit interview. Start the year off asking while you have time to fix the issues. I want to tell a story about my club. We had a new member join. His wife suffers from MS and is in a wheelchair. A young man in our town was injured in a car accident. He's now a quadriplegic at the age of 32, also in a wheelchair. Our member reached out to this couple and wanted to help. He said, I've had 20 years to figure it out. They've only had a couple of months. And our town wanted to help. Our member had an idea to have a fundraiser to help with medical needs. But the idea grew. It involved the awareness that maybe we could do more. In a partnership with the town, we had a Care Fest to highlight all the organizations that provide some sort of service to residents. For example, hospice, churches, Boy Scouts, the library, and of course Rotary. We had a fair. But he had another idea. He asked the high school football players to push people in wheelchairs through town. It showed how important that curbs be accessible. But it really showed how many places in our town a person in a wheelchair could not get in. They then had a session with the businesses to come up with ideas to help reduce those barriers. For example, how to place an order at the coffee shop and they'd know exactly what door to bring it out. It was a great success. How can we reduce barriers from our club meetings? Removing barriers is the key to inclusion, and inclusion is the key to membership.
A few years ago, I was interviewed on an American television program. Just prior to the start of the taping, the host revealed something quite striking. He had been a Rotarian for over 30 years, but it was only recently that he got Rotary. He became involved in a project that delivered coats to children in his community, and for the first time, it all clicked. He saw firsthand the power of service, and he became truly engaged. He even went on to serve as a club president. Imagine, more than 1,500 club meetings before he finally got Rotary. So what lesson does this offer us? We must engage our members. My hometown, Windsor, is the automotive capital of Canada. I know my way around a shop floor, and I was raised in this highly competitive marketplace. When something wasn't working, we retooled. A plant would shut down for a couple of months to prepare for new parts or an enhanced model. The past few decades have been tough, as plants have had to shut down due to competitive market forces. Tens of thousands of jobs were lost, never to be replaced. So what do you do in this kind of situation? You adapt. It's taken time, but our community is now a world-class leader in agribusiness and cutting-edge medical and aerospace technology. We too must adapt and retool. Finding the right part to engage each member should be our core function. It comes down to the comfort and care of our members. We don't have a problem bringing members into Rotary. We struggle to keep them. We're a revolving door in every part of the world. We need to ask our members what they want out of their experience, and then we need to provide them with meaningful responsibilities. It's our offer of hands-on service, personal growth, leadership development, and lifelong friendships that create purpose and passion. These are our responsibilities. If we don't serve our members, we don't serve our communities. And if we don't provide comfort and care for our members, they may never truly get the power of Rotary.
Again, we are a membership organization. We need to take care of our members. We need to build relationships with them. Remember, we are the family of Rotary. If members feel connected, they won't want to leave Rotary. Have socials. Turn getting ready for a project into a social. Invite members' families to help with the projects. Then have celebrations to tell your stories. Work to reach out to members if they have a family loss or health issue. If someone stops attending, call them. Set up a plan to check on one another. This matters. Let your members know you really do care about them.
We have been entrusted with leadership in our great organization. Now it's up to us to be brave and intentional in our actions and to let others help us lead. New clubs, and especially new club models, are vital to growing Rotary. And then, and perhaps most importantly, instill in them and your existing clubs too, our comfort and care philosophy. Let's make sure we engage our members so they love their clubs and their Rotary experience.
Each area, start a new club. Think about this. We can do more if we have more people doing. This might be a focus-based club. For example, healthcare workers who work in a certain place or a certain shift, or teachers who want to concentrate on a certain type of project. For example, literacy. It could be a group that already shares a bond, like a club started by veterans. It might be a group or a community that lives together, maybe a retirement community. By helping these groups know about Rotary and Rotary membership, we might be able to help them meet their goals. They will be smaller groups, but they already have a shared passion or interest. By using the Rotary model, we'll be able to do more. It could be a satellite club, a different meeting time or place. This could be the answer to the changing needs of members who are already in existing clubs without them having to leave Rotary. But each one bring one remains a personal goal for all of us. We have a responsibility to share Rotary. We cannot do the work we do unless we have hands and funds. We are a membership organization. If we want Rotary to continue, we need members. I'm going to share a story about asking a woman who is a super supporter of everything in our community to consider joining my club. I even prefaced it when I started talking to her that I know Brandy, another member of my club, and you are best friends. And she's probably already asked you many times to think about joining us. And Brandy had. But I went on to explain that some things had changed with Rotary, our attendance guidelines, but also some different kinds of memberships. She didn't want to miss meetings, and her job might cause that. That's why she hadn't joined. I explained she could be a corporate member. She could be the primary member, but send someone else in her place if she had to miss a meeting, or Zoom into our meeting. Perfect. She's a new member, has not missed a meeting, but it took the pressure off her to know she had options. Take the time to talk about Rotary and listen to what might be the reason that someone doesn't think they can join. Maybe there is a way. Let's review our goals. The impact from foundation giving starts with us and reverberates throughout our communities in the world. Look to reduce barriers in your club, to be more inclusive. Assess your club and make sure you are taking care of your members. Remember, without members, we cannot provide our product, service. Implement ways to expand our impact, from each one bring one to adjusting your club model to fit your members' needs. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up every day knowing that we can make a difference. With that, a few concluding thoughts from RI President Jennifer Jones.
50 years ago, an anthem was recorded that included this beautiful line. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hear that lyric as a call to action. We all have dreams, but acting on them is a choice. And when organizations like ours dream big things like ending polio and creating peace, it becomes our responsibility to make these dreams a reality. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up each day knowing that we can make a difference. You don't imagine yesterday, you imagine tomorrow. Imagine a world without polio. Imagine a world with clean water for everyone. Imagine a world free of disease, a world where every child learns to read. Imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. And that's, my dear friends, why our theme is Imagine Rotary. There is a great line in the song from the Broadway musical Rent. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in a life? Some of you may be familiar with this play, or some of you may be more familiar with the Puccini opera that inspired it, La Bohème. My friend, sitting Governor Michelle Barrere, recently challenged many of us to think about how each one of us gets the same number of minutes. How we choose to live them is the important question. On July 1, the clock starts ticking. How will you use these minutes?
All right, thank you, RI President Jennifer Jones and District Governor Kathy Cantor. RI President Jennifer Jones is the first woman to be president, to be elected president of Rotary International, 35 plus years after the first woman was admitted to the first Rotary Club. And I know that's rushing things, but we'll get used to it, right? She's going to be a great president, and thanks to Lynn for engineering that rollout with Chris's help. Lynn, is there anything you want to add to the presentation today?
So I would just like to emphasize why that member satisfaction survey is important to us. You know, we recognize that things are in transition, and we want to imagine how we will, you know, evolve our club as we look to the future to address the challenges of today. Rotary's been around over 100 years. Our club is coming up on our 100th year. We've survived and thrived because we've been adaptable and flexible as times have changed. And we're at one of those inflection points, and I just challenge all of us to at least, you know, step forward, give us the input that we need to make some good decisions as we move forward.
Great.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Lynn, for your leadership. I want to welcome Leslie to our midst today. Thank you for coming. Welcome to, and I know it's great for Tom to have his niece, you know, back among the community and stepping up to the plate and undertaking that role. You'll be great for the city and great for the community. Come back anytime that you can. And just a couple of final announcements. Don't forget the homework toolbox that the Salvation Army is sponsoring. United Way, I don't know whether they're through with the stuff, the bus program or not, but if they're not, they're certainly going to need volunteers still. Don't forget that satisfaction survey that Lynn mentioned and the committee sign-ups. And I know you all thought that you were going to be rid of me, but that's not the case. I'm going to be back next week with a brand new show. Maggie is having some surgery, and so she can't take over in August as she anticipated. So I agreed to stay on for another week. We're having a scholarship banquet, so we are having at least 2 new scholarship awardees, and their parents are going to be here. So by all means, make a special effort to be here and welcome them as scholarship winners and their families. So without further ado, if everyone will stand and join with me in repeating the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? We are adjourned.